So my daughter has asked me to preserve her little baby who's 7 weeks old now, Aurora, her first little hospital bonnet. And these are the name bands as well. She wants those. So I've been thinking about this long and hard how to do it. I think I'm going to do it in a pyramid. Let me zoom out a bit of one of these pyramids. And I obviously can't touch the bonnet with resin because it'll just look like it's wet. So I've been thinking long and hard about how to do this. And I'm thinking I'm going to put it inside a bauble. So this can go inside the bauble. And then the bauble can stand in the pyramid. And I'll use a deep pour resin. I've got all these little roses and beads. So I'm going to, try and work this out. And hopefully, because, it's going to take some architectural design. But anyway, I'm going to get on with this. I've decided to pick the smaller ball. I'm just trying to get the little hat inside it without damaging anything. And the reason I'm using the smaller ball is the bigger ball came above the base of the pyramid. And I don't want that because I want to be able to put some lights in it somehow. So, or I could use the bigger ball and put the lights inside the bigger ball. Anyway, there it is in there. I'm not sure if I like it in there. I mean, that could work. It just looks a bit scrunched. Whereas the other one, it looked like a little baby's bonnet. But I think it'd be kind of nice to have it completely in its own little sphere. Oh, my finger can fit in there. Nope. But I can, there we go. I'm straightening out the fabric now. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this little one. Just got to tilt it the right way. And I'm going to go and get that straightened up. Then I'm going to begin with pouring some resin at the bottom of the pyramid with some beads and maybe a flower to begin the decoration. So this is the stand. It's just the frame to keep your mold steady. And I've put talcum powder on the inside of this so that my silicone mold won't stick, because sometimes it's a bit of a bugger to get out. And then the other thing I've done with the actual silicone mold is I have sprayed the inside of it with a universal mold release so that when the resin has set, this will peel off easier. So now I'm just going to put the mold in its stand. Press down all the sides. Not worried about all the sides really, because the resin will push all that out. So that's the first step done. I'm going to put that aside. I've decided I'm going to use the little ball for the baby's bonnet, and I'm going to seal the end with resin by just like standing that in resin overnight, and then I'll get a nice plug over the top, and then I can put that in and fill the rest with resin, and nothing will harm the baby bonnet. What I'm doing now is I've taken these little silk roses and I'm going to coat them in resin, because they would, if I was going to just place them in the pyramid, they'd float to the top. So I'm going to make them resin coated first. So that's what I'm doing here. And here's a close-up. So I coat the roses with resin and let them dry overnight, and then they are perfect to just pop into the pyramid. Now my little roses are going to be coated. They have some stalks attached to them, which is very helpful, as you will see in the video as it progresses. And I'm just going to select just 4-ish, maybe 5, I don't know, and just dip them into the resin as you see me doing right now, and let those dry. Once those are dry, they are completely different feeling. They're heavy, but they still have that beautiful pink blush color. So I'm going to leave those to dry, and then we'll come back and do the next step. As you can see now, I have the majority of my little roses dipped in resin, and I'm going to dip a few more single ones that I'll embellish the pyramid with. And that's just a matter of placing it in the resin, turning it, flipping it, making sure there are no bubbles, because that's the disaster. And so this is what I'm going to do with a few of the single ones. Now I have all my little roses. I'm going to put in some fairy castle embellishments and a butterfly in the top of the pyramid, because this is a little girly pyramid, keepsake, and hopefully one day she will have this as her nightlight. So what I have to do now is mix some more resin and put it in the top of the pyramid. And I'm going to do that with some beads and just prop the beads in resin. I've got beads here that I buy from the craft store. And all I do is just like cut the string and just pour them into the resin. I got to work out how many beads I'm going to need, so it just fills the literal tip of the pyramid. I'm going to snip it now and run those beads off the wire into the resin, as you can see. And that's basically all I need for the tip of the pyramid. Just going to stir those around, make sure they're all covered and there's no air bubbles. And then I will add that to the first layer of the pyramid. Now I'm going to take my pyramid, and that's the mold in the stand. And now I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you to make it better for you to see. There, hope that's good. And the beads I mixed with resin are going to be the very top layer. Remember that every time you do a pyramid, you have to do it upside down and back to front. It might take you a couple of times to do some pyramids before you realize like up is down. Like for example, the baby bonnet is upside down when you're making it, and when it's finished it's going to be the right way up. So I'm putting those beads in the top of the pyramid, and I have a little castle, fairy castle trinket that I got at the craft store. I'm going to put that in because it's all about princesses and beautiful things that little girls dream about. So here goes the castle and the butterfly. And all I do is simply just take each charm and put it, remember, it has to go upside down. So there's the castle upside down. Just going to move that to where I want it. And on the opposite side, I'm going to put a little butterfly, which again needs to be upside down. So once that is done, then I have to wait for that to dry and do the next layer. The resin that I'm going to be using is Epoxy for Deep Pour by Let's Resin. And this kit, it's 2-to-1 ratio, and I think this was a quarter of a, or maybe no, it's not a gallon, half a gallon maybe. And you get a bottle of A, which is actually the resin, and B, which is and oddly enough it doesn't, oh B, there's B down there, which is the hardener. Some people think, now here's a funny thought, some people think if they add more hardener to the resin, just a tiny bit, it's going to make it like super strong. That's not what happens. It's the resin that makes things strong. So if you're going to overdo with anyone, it's the resin you should overdo, but don't overdo. Mix exactly as the box says, and you will get a good set of resin. So it also comes with 2 pairs of gloves and 5 sticks. So I'm going to mix my resin. Again, it's 2 parts A to 1 part B. I've mixed the resin and I am going to tint it a little bit pink. I've got these plastic baby's breath, so I'm going to shove one down in each corner. Remember, everything has to be upside down. That can go down there. That one goes down in there. And then one more. I got these off a flower arrangement in Michael's, the craft store, for those who don't live in America. Right, now let's tint this pink. I'm going to tint it with Naked Fusion Quartz, Rose Quartz Luxe Mica Powder. Mica Pigment, rather. I don't want it very pink. So I'm just going to start off with a tiny amount. Here's the tinted resin. I only tinted it slightly, and I did add some glitter to it as well. So I'm going to pour it in. Okay, I want it just to come above the flowers. All right, we have a floater. Push you down. I'm trying to push it down. This one was giving me trouble earlier. It's going to keep floating to the top. So, there, I think I trapped it. Okay, we've got a little bit more of this. Lovely. And hopefully all those little air bubbles will come to the surface. I don't normally get air bubbles, so this is slow setting, so they've got plenty of time to rise up. The other thing I want to put in are these name tags, and I think I'm just going to have to hope and pray they kind of just stay where I put them. Right, and you remember those flowers at the beginning? Well, now I can put them around the edge. Oh, and where are the others? Hi, welcome back. So this deep pour part has hardened. It took 2 days. I put the, wrist bracelets around that's stuck in. You can see, just holding over some light for you, some baby's breath in there. These 4 little roses, I can cut the stalks off now. So I'm also going to hot glue something onto here, but you'll see. So bear with me, we'll go through the stages and I'll just talk and tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Okay, I've mixed my resin 2 to 1. It's beautifully clear. I'm going to chop these, chop these stalks off the roses. And this one. And lastly, this one. Good, because they're already set in the resin. Now, this is my thinking. I'm going to do a layer of pearls, and then the top layer will be like a really rich pink sand, probably. But anyway, let me put the pearls in first. I just want to make sure. Yeah, see, I think I might have to put those pearls in last, because I need to have this completely glued to my bauble. So let's try some small pearls. And I've got more here. I'm going to have to go shopping for more pearls. Right, now I'm going to hot glue this on here. This is what's going to hold the lights once this has been taken out. I've got my hot glue gun. Let me just check it's working. Yep. Okay. Right. Let me position this. Hey, there's little glue threads. Go away. I'm going to hold that till it sets. I've actually, here's a confession, never tried hot glue gun glue on silicone, but I only need it to be temporary till the next layer sets. Right, that's in the middle. Now I can add some bigger pearls. All right, so that's it so far. You'll be able to see the different layers. The pearls are going to look so pretty. And that's a close-up for you. Yep, and the last layer I will do with pink sand. So see when this layer's dry, a couple of days. Bye. This layer took 2 days to dry, beautifully clear. And then the final layer, I'm just going to use Naked Fusion's Russet pigment powder, mica pigment powder, the tongue twister. I've already mixed it. Again, it's in the deep pour resin because it's still going to be fairly thick. Okay, now once that's set, it's basically finished. I'll just make a base for the bottom and we'll see you when it's all dry and finished. And now it's time for the great reveal. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out this. There's a bit of glue there I can hopefully remove. Oh, it might be resin. Yeah, I don't think I can remove that. Okay, so then we take a triangle. See, with the talcum powder, I know it's messy, you've got a lot to clean up. I'll wash that. With the talcum powder, it comes out so easily. God, everything's so sticky in my studio. So let's clean this up. And I'm cleaning it and then thinking, oh, it's not very clear, it's a bit cloudy, but I've still got the silicone cover on it. All right, so that's nice and clean. Now we get to peel this off. I love it. There's a little bonnet inside. It's weird because what's happened is the bonnet's kind of shrunk. It hasn't shrunk. It just looks like it has because of the, I guess it creates some kind of visual vortex. But anyway, there it is. And I think that's really cute. And now I'm going to put the lights in. Okay, I have the lights and I have that little cavity underneath where I'm going to put the lights in. Okay. And then I made a bottom for it. Excuse me, stretching. I just got a piece of card and covered it in felt. So this I will magnet on to here. And that will keep the lights in. And I have to adjust the card actually, it looks a bit big for some reason. Anyway. And then you have a night light, which you can't see. I'm going to show you in a darker room. Here we go, here it is. So there's the little hat inside and the wrist bracelets. And remember at the top I put a little castle, and on the other side I put a butterfly. So there you have it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you another day. Bye.